Hello everyone, I'm Aiden, and welcome to this exciting journey. Join me as we dive into the epic story of Alarion and uncover a world of ancient magic, brave heroes, and thrilling adventures. Let's begin. Ilarion grew up in a picturesque village nestled between vast oak and birch forests, where life flowed with the rhythm of the seasons and lunar cycles. The houses, made from wood harvested from nearby forests and stone quarried from distant mountains, reflected the ingenuity of generations. Each home was adorned with carvings that told the stories of its inhabitants, from brave hunters to wise healers. The stream that ran through the village murmured ancient tales, its clear waters bearing witness to the passage of time. Twice a year, the village celebrated the Harvest Festival and the rite of the first oak. During the Harvest Festival, villagers shared the fruits of a year's labor with large feasts and music that resonated in the crisp autumn air. The rite of the first oak, on the other hand, marked the onset of spring, where a youth from the village was chosen to plant a new oak, symbolizing growth and renewal. These festivals not only strengthened community bonds, but were also occasions where Alarion listened to stories of ancient heroes and forgotten magics. From a young age, Alarion was noted for his insatiable curiosity. He was often found beyond the safe boundaries of the village, exploring the secrets that the forest held. His grandmother told him tales of magical creatures that danced under the moon and tree spirits that protected the forest. These stories fueled his imagination and his desire to uncover the mysteries of the world around him. The disappearance of his mother when Alarion was just an infant left a void in his heart and in the village. Rumors and whispers of a fate intertwined with something greater than the village circulated among the elders. His father, a man of few words, harbored stories of ancient warriors and powerful wizards, and on special nights, under the starry sky, he shared these stories with Ilarion, igniting a spark of adventure in his heart. One afternoon, guided by curiosity and the stories he had heard at the festival, Ilarion ventured into a part of the forest rarely visited by villagers. The density of the vegetation and the whispers of the wind among the leaves created an almost sacred atmosphere. Ilarion, with cautious steps and curious eyes, was drawn to an area where sunlight barely filtered through. Among the thickets, he discovered the ruins of what seemed to be an ancient temple or sanctuary. The structures were largely reclaimed by nature, but engravings and symbols on the surviving stones were still visible. Fascinated, Ilarion explored the area, noticing how each step seemed to take him further back in time. At the heart of these ruins, surrounded by a circle of fallen stones, lay a partially buried object that emitted a soft glow. It was a sphere adorned with unknown inscriptions and mystical symbols. Upon touching it, Ilarion felt an electric shock course through him, followed by chaotic visions of magical battles and unfamiliar faces. Among those images, he saw a woman of extraordinary beauty and power, his mother, engaged in a mystical struggle. Shaken by the visions, Ilarion returned to the village with more questions than answers. His encounter with the artifact had not only unlocked secrets of the past, but had also activated an ancestral connection to the magic flowing within him. Perplexed by the visions and the power of the artifact, Ilarion sought out Master Thalor, a scholar and wizard who lived on the edge of the village. Thalor's cabin, hidden among ancient trees and covered in vines, was a sanctuary of knowledge. It was filled with ancient books, maps of the known and unknown world, and artifacts that buzzed with mysterious energy. Thalor, upon examining the artifact, immediately recognized its origin, the Reliquary of Parbuk, a lost relic from an era when magic could alter the very fabric of reality. The master explained to Ilarion that his mother had been a sorceress of great power, part of an ancient order that protected the secrets of the universe. Ilarion, with his discovery, had inherited not only his magical connection, but also a destiny that went beyond any ordinary life. As Thalor shared these revelations, he showed Ilarion various artifacts and books that he had kept from his mother, preparing the young man for the path ahead. Together they began to explore the texts, deciphering the inscriptions and practicing the enchantments that Ilarion would need to fully understand his heritage and the power that was now beginning to awaken within him. A week after discovering the artifact, while Ilarion and Lyria, his childhood friend, were training in basic defense arts by the stream, the air became charged with a disturbing energy. An ominous hum filled the space, like the harbinger of an imminent storm. Suddenly, dark, hooded figures emerged from the trees, advancing with menacing intent. They were minions of Varric, the dark sorcerer, drawn by the power the artifact exuded. The tension could be cut with a knife as the villagers, alerted by the noise, hid in their homes, fearing the worst. Just as the attackers were about to reach Ilarion and Lyria, a masked figure appeared, moving with supernatural speed and agility. This figure, dressed in garments that sparkled under the sun's rays filtering through the leaves, repelled the attackers with inhuman prowess. With a series of fluid and precise movements, the mysterious figure saved the young ones, disappearing as quickly as they had arrived. Confused but safe, Ilarion and Lyria were left with more questions than answers. Who was this masked figure? How did they know they needed help? This incident marked the real beginning of the adventure, making it clear to them that the world was filled with unknown dangers and that the artifact was more powerful and coveted than they had imagined. Under the tutelage of Master Thalor, the following days were filled with intense studies in the ancient library of the mage. Ilarion learned that each word from Parbuk was not just a sound, but a resonance that altered the very structure of reality. The ancient texts, filled with diagrams and arcane formulas, began to make sense under Thalor's patient guidance. During a study session, Ilarion found his mother's diary hidden among the tomes. The pages, though worn by time, revealed her battle against Lord Varric, a tyrant who sought to dominate the secrets of Parbuk for his own dark purposes. Reading about his mother's struggles and sacrifices connected Ilarion to her in a way he had never experienced before, providing him with a new perspective on his heritage and the danger Varric still represented. This chapter was crucial for showcasing Ilarion's growth, not just as a mage, but as a potential leader. His magical abilities began to flourish, and with each word he learned, he felt how his mother's legacy strengthened his own power. However, he also realized that with great power comes great responsibility, and that the shadows of his mother's past still loomed over him. As Ilarion and Lyria continued their training under Thalor's supervision, their ability to manipulate magic grew, as did their understanding of the gravity of their situation. It wasn't long before their skills were tested again. During an exploration in a remote sector of the forest, they encountered magical creatures corrupted by Varric's dark magic. These creatures, once peaceful, now disfigured and aggressive, attacked without warning. At the critical moment, a group of forest warriors, led by Kayla, an elusive guerrilla warfare expert, intervened to assist them. Kayla and her warriors had been fighting Varric's forces in secret, trying to weaken his influence in the region. Recognizing Alarion's importance in the fight against Varric, Kayla offered to join forces, sharing knowledge and resources. This alliance brought with it new combat tactics and strategies. Ilarion and Lyria learned not only to use their magic more effectively, but also to combine it with physical skills and battle strategies. Nights at the camp with Kayla and her warriors tightened bonds of friendship and camaraderie, strengthening the group's spirit and preparing them for future challenges. As the trust between Ilarion, Lyria, Kayla, and the mysterious Masked One grew, so did the intensity of their confrontations with Varric's forces. During a particularly fierce ambush, the Masked One was gravely injured. Removing his mask to administer first aid, Ilarion discovered to his astonishment that it was Auric, the uncle he thought dead, and his mother's brother. Auric explained that he had faked his death to protect the secret of Parbuk and keep watch over Varric from within. His double life as a spy within Varric's ranks had been lonely and dangerous, but necessary. Although the initial revelation sowed distrust, it soon became clear that Auric had sacrificed much to protect Ilarion and preserve his sister's legacy. This plot twist not only deeply affected Ilarion emotionally, but also redefined his perception of the conflict and his enemies. Auric's story added a layer of complexity to the struggle, making Ilarion reconsider his own strategies and motivations. Together, they reformulated their approach to facing Varric, now with a deeper understanding of his tactics and weaknesses. As the final confrontation with Lord Varric approached, Ilarion spent long hours in Thalor's library, surrounded by ancient texts and magical artifacts. He sought an edge that could be decisive in the upcoming battle. On the eve of the assault, he discovered a power word his mother had hidden in her diary, a word unknown to Varric and that could change the course of the fight. With this new knowledge, Ilarion, Lyria, Kayla, Auric, and Thalor outlined a meticulous plan. They would combine the magic of Parbuk with the guerrilla tactics they had learned in their previous encounters. Each knew the role they had to play, aware of the deadly dangers they would face, but united by a common purpose. The strategies were adjusted to maximize each team member's strengths, and they rehearsed their implementation in simulated scenarios. The night before the assault, the group shared a moment of calm. They knew they might not survive the encounter, but the sense of justice and duty to their world bonded them more than ever. This moment of quiet contrasted with the storm that was brewing, providing an emotional respite before the climax of their struggle. The battle began under the cover of a magically invoked storm, which served both as camouflage and a weapon. Ilarion and his allies breached the enemy lines with fierce determination, using every skill and strategy they had planned. The newly discovered power word allowed Ilarion to break the magical barriers that protected Varric's castle. In the heart of the castle, Ilarion faced Varric in a duel of magic and cunning. Each spell cast by Ilarion carried the echo of his mother's strength, guiding and empowering him. The battle was a whirlwind of clashing energies, each move more potent than the last, as thunder and lightning resonated around, reflecting the intensity of the confrontation. Just when it seemed that Varric would overcome Ilarion, Thalor intervened, sacrificing his life to protect his pupil. This heroic act allowed Ilarion to find the strength to pronounce the final power word, a spell that broke the magical seal that kept his mother trapped in a dark and distant plane. The release of his mother was the final blow that ensured Varric's downfall. Exhausted but victorious, Ilarion reunited with his mother, finally freed from the dark plane. Her eyes reflected not only pride but also an unbreakable love. Together, as dawn broke through the shadows, they watched as Varric's castle crumbled under the weight of its corruption. The realm, freed from Varric's tyranny, entered an era of peace and reconstruction. Ilarion, assuming his new role as protector of the realm, dedicated himself to rebuilding what had been destroyed and ensuring that future generations lived free from the fear he had faced. With the wisdom and legacy of his mother and Thalor as his guide, Ilarion founded a magic academy where the secrets of Parbuk could be studied and used for the good of the realm. This institution served as a beacon of knowledge and hope, promoting magic as a force for good. Ilarion, along with Lyria, Kayla, and Auric, formed a council of magic and strategy to prevent future conflicts. Their story, now turned into legend, became a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the transformative power of truth and love. Thanks for joining me on this epic journey. I'm Aiden, and I hope you enjoyed exploring Ilarion's world with me. Until next time, keep dreaming and adventuring. See you soon.